I know that
It's a privilege.
humility will not allow you to say it. But it's one of the things that I have watched very closely and I've learned. I've seen how you take care of widows. I've seen how you take care of orphans. I've seen you are constantly giving. Sometimes, even at the risk of having to sacrifice certain things that you even need for yourself. And I don't know if you remember, but you were sharing at a meeting once and you were saying how you were doing all these things for different people, lepers, different people. And I just thought to myself, it's one of the reasons why this woman cannot die. It's one of the reasons why she cannot fail.
Thank you.
Because who will do your work? Who will bless all these people? Who will help all these people? So I mean, I know you're not mentioning it, but I think it's very important for people to also pick that up, that generosity of heart. And it's not just in giving, it's also in welcoming and celebrating everyone, even people who are coming after you. How you open your heart to all of us, and everybody's calling Mama because that's exactly who you are to all of us. So
thank you.
I really want to say thank you on behalf of all the women. We're watching, we're following, and you are a true matriarch in every sense of the word. So we celebrate you, and it was such a great privilege to do this with you today. Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you. I'm grateful. We run a patriarchal society. I'm a law student, so you know when you study law, you'll understand that a woman is a chattel. She's a property in many cultures. When a man dies intestate, no will, she's one of the things you will divide and distribute. Yes. So that's where many men have grown up, even though they are born again. But you know when you get born again, it's your spirit that is born again. Your body is not born again. Your mind, your soul, Romans 12, you know. So, and also because of the experiences that they've had, many men have never seen their fathers display,
affection.
Public display of affection, nothing. You've had to sit and there, come back, and all that. Even me, as Baptistic as my father was, as fantastic as he was, I will see my mother serving water on her knees. And my father would take the water and not say, stand up. And that was what the mentality I brought to marriage. Maybe we'll get to that. So, African men, yes, the woman is nothing. She's to be seen and never heard. That is even when she's seen. And it's the same men that we have in the mosque. It's the same men that we have in the church. The same men in politics. The same men are policy makers, and they grew up like that. So it takes a conscious effort to see men like my husband, men like Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo, the way they treat their husband, how their wives, how they have allowed their wives and how they have given their wives space and place. It's insecurity. And insecure men are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So we have African men.
Husbands.
Even though we also have wives that are evil. Maybe we'll get into that. Evil, but that's the truth. I've seen a lot. Marriage is not a scam. Marriage is neither Western nor African. There's no marriage in the Western world. And there's no marriage in the African setting, core African setting. Marriage is biblical. Marriage is a gift of God. And it's a gift from God. But you see, it takes levels of maturity to stay married. We don't have a perfect marriage, but we have a great one. There are days I wake up and I'm asking, are we still married? Because of what happened yesterday. I'm just being real. So 41 years, you can imagine what we've been through. Even while we were cutting, they call it dating now, 4 times. We said,
You're not doing
I'm not doing it. Because one day my husband came in, he wasn't my husband then, and said, okay, what kind of a home do you want? Oh, I said, I want a home where nobody will just disturb us, just the two of us. We just knock our door. Anybody's I had even forgotten that we'll be working. If anybody was coming, they will give us notice. He dropped his head. I said, oh, by the way, what kind of a home do you want? He said, I want a home where the door will be open 24 hours. People will come in and eat the last meal. I said, I can't marry you. I don't want. I didn't know he would become a pastor. So I have also grown. One thing I need to say here is that when we get married, we have only married a version of that person. And if your spouse continues to improve, self-develop, and the other person does not, after some time, you become insecure. When we got married, I wasn't a graduate. I noticed that my husband's circle of friends was changing. He started mentoring governors, commissioners, and all that. They were coming to church. So I said to myself, one day I will no longer fit the front of this man's car. I went back to school. Got my degree. And both of us, each person grew. Now that I'm studying law, I noticed that because I have coaches apart from school, you know, at 60, you need extra. So
we're even still going to talk about that because who goes back to school at 60, ma?
Thank you. So I noticed that when I'm in class on Zoom, my husband is sitting and he's listening. He's reading my law books because he notes that in 1 year, this girl will have evolved again. He doesn't want to be left behind. So that's how we've been doing it. I'm listening to him as he's self-improving. He's listening to me. So we continue. It's not that he's speaking about politics and I'm talking about tomatoes, you know? So we can relate on the same.
I totally
That's been
get
so helpful.
Wow. And interestingly, I think that it is one of the things that a lot of women don't know. When the Bible talks about us being helpers, everybody focuses on the fact that, I'm supposed to help the man. It talks about you being suitable for where he is now and adaptable to where he's going. So being, just consciously and intentionally evolving, not just allowing it happen so that we don't outgrow each other, is such sound advice. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. So let's talk a bit. We'll come back to marriage. Because I still want you to talk to the wives. Because some people don't even want to get married. But some people have gotten to the stage where, okay, I agree to get married, but if it doesn't work, I'm out. I can't. I hear that a lot. But before we talk about that, you said something that, since we're talking about evolving, please, what made you go back to school at 60 to do law? Not to do a master's, 1 year, 18 months, that kind of thing, to start from scratch, and not to do it online, not to get preferential treatment, to actually sit in class and tell your lecturers, I want you to treat me like everyone else. I don't want special treatment. If I fail, I fail. I don't want... Who does that? Why? We have to get to the bottom of this. Why?
Okay, it's been a childhood dream. And because of what I suffered as a girl child, because when I was born, people gathered to cry for my parents. A girl, what can she ever become? So, if not for God and my father that kept pumping possibility, So growing up, I wanted a platform. I didn't ever know that I would be a preacher. I wanted a platform where I can speak legally for women. So when I was going to turn 60, I began to assess my life. Okay, well done, girl. You've been to 5 continents of the earth. You've preached from Genesis to Revelation. You have a happy home. Your husband loves you. You have children. You have... What next? A conference that this is you and God.
Yes.
Nobody, because there are 2 people you can't deceive, God and yourself. So, madam, what next? Do you have any regret? And honestly, I realized that I had 2 regrets. Number 1, I wish I knew about the technology of IVF, because I'm very fertile. 4 children in 6 years, that's fertility.
Yes.
I would have donated my eggs free of charge. So I said, now I'm menopausal. Post-men, I can't do it. So what can I do? I said, I will start sponsoring IVF. So that's what I do now. And God has been very good. Number 2, I wanted to be a blessing, a billionaire, a barrister. I said, this barrister something is still missing.
Still waiting.
And now God has even added bishop. That
Exactly.
was not
so
in
that's
my
4 B's. Yes, because you do exceeding abundantly.
Exactly. Ephesians 3:20. So I said, this barrister thing. Jesus. So I went to church and it was after service. I sat in my car. I wanted to go to drive home. And then a lady that relates to me in church, he said, Mama, how you feeling? You know you're going to be 60. I said, Pam, I have 2 regrets. I said, what? I told her. She said, but you can still do it.
Oh God, man, see I have good people in my body.
Go to a private. I said, really? Really? That was Sunday. Monday, I was in school to obtain a form. I walked straight to the registrar's office. He said 5,000, this, that. I paid. And when I started, I shared some of my story when I came to preach for you in Lagos. When I started, I realized that at home, I was always watching Channels television. Mm-hmm. So I said, no, this is not going to work. So I relocated to school.
Yes.
I started living in school. Focus. My school is just 15, 20 minutes from home. I'll sit there. During an exam, I'm in the front. Go there, any lecturer ask. One of the lecturers said to me one day, Ma, you know, we all listen to you and all that. I want to say something. I said, please go ahead. She said, thank you for not putting us in a situation where we have to be adding marks.
Or lying for you. Oh my God.
I remember my first week in school, the dean of Faculty of Law said to me, Ma'am, the world followed you here. You cannot afford to fail. We all watch you online. Oh, pressure. Oh my God. So, 2 a.m., I'm reading in my room. And then I'll go on my knees, Father. This is the end. It's only you now. My sister.
Even as a young person, law would be demanding. If you had nothing else to do but study law, how much more still traveling the world, preaching?
And I cannot believe, only God could have done what I'm saying. When I look at my results, I don't just cry, I wail in gratitude to God. I'm almost done, and you will see what God has done for me. So I want to speak for women and men. I want to have a law firm where I can employ lawyers and then they can speak. So you don't want to hear me as a female preacher. You can't discriminate as a female lawyer. I have a legal backing. Yeah. That's what I want to do.
Praise God. I heard you a couple of years ago saying that you wanted to fight for women. You know, you were sharing some of the stories, some of the very sad stories of women that you've had to work with. And I mean, because of your mantra, which is honoring God and serving humanity, this, I think, is another avenue to also do that again. So we're rooting for you. We're watching. We're watching. We're celebrating. Every time I see you put up people, I'm like, hey, God, is this same heaven all of us are going to? Ma? Why are we doing this? You're adding to this, Ma, please. Don't do this.
See who is
no, Ma, we're inspired. We're completely inspired.
I just want
inspiration. To know that we are inspired by you. Thank you.
Thank you for that. The movie. Jesus. You have no idea.
Thank you, Ma. So I want you to talk to wives now. We'll get to the girl. We're talking about the girl child and some of those, some of the barriers you've had to face. But I want to talk to wives. One of the things you said was, God hold me responsible, which means you were telling God, I'm committed to this. I'm committed to this man. Recently, I started running a mentoring program for wives called Wife 101. And I get to talk to a lot of them. And I find a lot of them are married because they thought marriage was the next necessary step. But when I start to talk to them about some of the things that marriage requires of you, some of the adjustments you will make, some of the prayer you will make, some of the growing up you will make, some things you just have to, it's not that deep. I just have to face what I came to do and not make a fuss about unnecessary things. But I find that most of them say, you know what, if you know work, I'm done. Like, it's not, Pastor, I can't. I can't. This man is that. I know that you've been there for 41 years. What's the one thing that you know that works every time for a wife? Every time. What's the one thing that works, and what's the biggest advice you will give a wife?
I wish that there'll be something for husbands too. Because the rate at which we are going, if we don't raise the boy child, we'll continue to have this problem. Because a lot of women, we've been to conferences, we've been mentored, and all that, but they are frustrated. That's the reason they are here. My greatest advice to wives, know God for yourself. Marriage is hard work. Marriage is warfare. There are many things working against marriage. Many things. Tangible, intangible. And this is 2025. It's not even getting easy or easier at all. So know God. And I'm not trying to be religious. I'm just telling you, that's where your identity is. Because any man can fail you. He's a man. He's a human being. That's the depravity, It's only God that is infallible. Any man is, including you as a wife. So it's God. It's God that can heal what nobody can heal. It's God that can touch what nobody can touch. It's God that can change what nobody can change. This is my greatest advice. Know God and hold on to Him. Let me add one more. You, as a wife, take care of yourself. Many times, and I've been there, we make our husbands God.
Yes.
And it's wrong. Thou shalt have no other God. So when the man fails you, you are finished. You're looking for, or if the man dies. One of my mentors said, when the husband died, she was 55, she said to me, my daughter, I don't even know who she called her. I don't even know who she is. It's always so and so, So know yourself, invest in yourself, believe in yourself, like yourself, learn to be alone. I'm not saying lonely. Learn to be alone. Know your worth. Marriage is one of the expressions. Marriage is not what completes you as a person. And I think that society puts a lot of pressure on people. So they are not mature. They're just going to marry because, like you said, it's the job. It's the next thing. And a lot of people are frustrated, including ministers of God, including pastors.
Especially.
I'm telling you, it's a lot. Marriage is heavy. It's a heavy load, and it takes a lot. Because after every wedding comes a marriage. It takes a lot, not just to be married, but to stay married. The rate at which we are going, we need God, though. Because some women may not want to be married. They will just go and do surrogacy or do IVF or just do something and have children. Because honestly, a lot of women have suffered in the hands of men, even men of God. That's just not, that one is deep. It's bad.
Okay, talking about suffering, one of the major areas that women have challenges is with their mothers-in-law. I hear a lot of sad stories. A lot of women getting married and the relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law is so horrible. And my husband tries to explain it away by saying that women are territorial emotionally. So the woman thinks, you're coming to take my son. So, madam, you are holding son and husband. You will release one for them, So I know that you have a good relationship with your daughters-in-law to a large extent, at least, because human beings will be mummies, I guess. So there will be challenges. I don't think there will be any relationship that there won't be, one or two things, because we're all different. But the idea is that we're able to work together. And we see that you have a healthy relationship. So what informed that? How? Because it's just a narrative. Mother-in-law be wicked. So how are you able to change that narrative?
God helped me to prepare. And I've tasted the two. My daughters are married, my sons are, so I'm on both sides. And I remember when one of my sons was getting married and it was time for mother-son dance, I whispered to his ears and I said, from today, I cease to be the most important woman in your life. Your wife is now. And I say to my boys regularly, if you can just love your wives half the way my husband loves me, your father, you won't have any problem with these girls. And when my daughters-in-law were coming, they really came. But me too, I was ready for them. That is not here. It is not here. I will love you to submission, you know. We have our issues, we've had our issues, you know, and all that. But I thank God. I thank God. In a little way, we're trying to change the trajectory of the story has been very bad.
Yeah.
It's not good. Some wives are evil. Some mothers-in-law are, they will say, witches. So when evil and witch
encounter, it's horrible.
But, you know, little by little, I believe that the story is changing. We're not there yet, but at least, you know, we're on our way.
Okay, another question that I have is, what three things do you believe have gotten you to this point, has gotten you to this point of success in your life?
Of course, you know, without trying to be,
that one is not
to be religious, grace.
Yes.
The grace of God that makes your life expensive, and makes you every time teary. And when you're alone with God, maybe in the bathroom or in your prayer closet, you're wondering, God, you and I know that this couldn't have been me now. Maybe you know, Lord, you know, or you are asking God, how did I get here? Who did they just introduce? Stuff like that is a major factor in my life that, in fact, is the beginning to the end. That's number one. Number two is that I'm very focused. I'm not easily distracted. Maybe they can say, that is stubbornness, but it has paid off. I face where I'm going. I qualify my relationships. I'm not just, yes, I can be an acquaintance, you know that, but I guard my space. Because I don't want to die as a woman. When I'm old, I want to die as an institution. I want people, my world, to still be studying my life when I'm gone. I don't want to be a normal woman. I don't want to carry a normal anointing. I want to look at my mates and not be able to find my mate among my mates that have that believe in me, that have given me platforms to have access to the people God has, you know, committed to your hands. You trusted me. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to my children. I'm grateful to the people that are in my life. And it's a major force in my life. There's no way I cannot prostrate for God, though.
So grace, focus, and gratitude. I'm going to add one more for you.
Okay.
Your generosity. Okay, so another question, because I know that you've done ministry for so long. You started with your husband, you and him and all that. But we have a lot of young women in ministry today. What advice would you have for them? Someone who knows there's a call of God on her life. What does she do?
Okay, so when we talk about the pulpit ministry, there are three kinds of women. Number one, we have the chosen woman that is married to the called man. So let's look at Moses. He was the one that God called. Zipporah was chosen. Let's look at a man like Kenneth Hagin Sr. I'm not sure we ever had the wife, Oretha, preach.
Oretha, yes.
But that woman lived to see her fourth generation preaching. That's something.
She was definitely chosen.
That's something, you know. So they minister to the person that ministers on the pulpit ministry. The second group of women in ministry are called women that are married to called men. So we have Aquila and Priscilla. We have Kenneth Copeland, Gloria Copeland. We have you and your husband, you know. So the man is called into the pulpit ministry. Ephesians 4, maybe as an apostle or a prophet, an evangelist, pastor or teacher. And then we have the woman too, is called. So, you know, we're talking about both of them. Now, how each of their marriages work out is different.
Yes.
Because when you get to the home space, it is not one apostle that is married to another apostle. It is a man that is married to a wife. Right. So we have that. And then number 3, we have called women that are married to chosen men. We have Joyce Meyer, for instance. If Joyce Meyer were to be an African, I'm sure Dave Meyer by now will be bearing apostle, bishop, something, you know. But all of us can tell that Dave Meyer is the backbone of Joyce. He's into the administrative, you know, and all that. So we need to, everyone coming into ministry, young women, the fact that your husband is the pastor does not mean you are called to the pulpit ministry. You may be an apostle in the marketplace. Look at Deborah. She was called, she was a called woman, married to a chosen man. So you need to first identify, are you called into the pulpit ministry? When our kids were young, I wasn't traveling. I did not travel. You will never see my face on any poster. I've never had a house help in my life until we started adopting children. God gave me my sister. I thank God for her. She lived with us, so that helped me. But I decided to put my career on hold to raise our kids. So when the children started growing, I started traveling with them. We'll go to Austria together, we'll go to Germany together, you know, so that they will see, even when we get there, I will acknowledge them. I will give them the mic to greet, so that they will see that, look, I didn't just leave home to go and be wasting my time, you know, and all that. And I still travel with them, even as we speak. So you need to understand, because life is not lived in years. Life is lived in seasons. You need to understand the season that you are. I'm a grandmother of 9. I won't still be doing, but this is the reality of life. There are things you can no longer carry. You can't lift a table the way. So you need to understand the season that you are. If your children are young, you can't be flying around like FFA. I paid my dues. When mine were young, this is what I did. Stayed at home. Even staying at home, you see that it takes God to raise kids. Let's not even go there. So it takes God. So we need to understand this. Everybody wants to be Reverend Mrs. Everybody wants to go into the pulpit ministry. Everybody wants to be called Mama. That's not how it works. There are demons that are sent. Those of us that are GOs wise, we know it's not even, most people that are GOs wise, they never wanted it, you know. That's the truth. So if you are, God, please call my husband, or you are the one helping God to flash your husband. Hello, hello, God, close my husband, call my husband. There will be trouble because you want somebody to carry your bag. That's not how it works. So you need to understand, are you married? Are you chosen? Are you called? You know, that is very, very important. And you must understand that there are challenges. There is joy. There are privileges. Exodus chapter 18, Zipporah was sent back. The first pastor's wife. She missed the miracle of the parting of the Red Sea. First pastor's wife. Ministry is tough. Ministry can be frustrating. One lady walked up to my husband's office to propose marriage to him. And my husband said, don't you know I'm married? She said, I've been in this church for 4 years. I know you have 4 kids. So you can imagine. There are people, my husband will say, there are people that are not happy that you are happy. There are people that want you to go to bed and not wake up because you are married to the man they will give anything to sleep with. So before you go into ministry, make sure you are truly called. And then your work with God. You can't joke with that. Prayers, worship, study of the word, giving, you know, the company you keep, mentoring. These things are very important.
So much to unpack there, but because of time, there's something you talked about when you talked about their seasons, and I hear you talk about that a lot, that there are seasons in everyone's life. There was a season where you decided motherhood was your priority. You wanted to stay home and train your children. What is the biggest lesson you've learned about motherhood? Because like you were saying, you say, even at home, it's still God. So what's maybe I share the biggest secret to parenting?
Let me say this, there's no perfect parent anywhere. You will still make your mistakes. You can pray, and your child can still miss it in marriage. That's the truth. You can pray, and the child is still... So no child is sent to any parent. Children are only sent through us.
Yes.
So once you understand that, you know that child does not belong to you. You do your best, and then you leave the rest to God. But please don't kill yourself because of any child. And don't live your life in the way our parents lived their lives. Oh, when I grow old, these children that will take care of me.
Retirement plan.
Retirement plan. They will take care of you. But if your child gets 1 million today, you're not the first person the child will remember. Mortgage is there, house rent is there, the wife is there. So, because that's what Psalm 1 tells us now. Nobody, no matter how fantastic Pella was, he couldn't play football or soccer in every season of his life.
Really?
So you need to understand that. So that's why you don't eat with 10 fingers. You save, you invest, you consolidate, so that in the evening of your life, when you can no longer run around, when there are no meetings, when there is no honoraria, you know that you can still fly business class, you can still fly first class. It's very important. And then we'll not be putting pressure on our children to take care of us.
So what I'm hearing the most from all that you said concerning parenting is we should understand that we're just God's nannies. The child is yours, but the instruction on how to raise the child comes from God, and the outcome of the child too is up to God and the child. So we should kill ourselves. So I think that what you just conducted now is a deliverance service. Because some women have just been set free to know, I'm not the one carrying this thing. I will just put this child in God's hands and just trust that. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
I need to say this. Divorce is not the end of your life. Please, it just came to my mind now. It's not the end of your life. The church has not been fair. Once you are divorced, you become stigmatized. No. A lot goes on behind the curtains. If people open up, even pastors, I know PK will understand you, and you. So please.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma. Finally, let's talk about money, because you were talking now. You were talking about, saving, investing, not eating with 10 fingers. And I know that there are people who don't understand how money works. One of the things that God has graced you with is the ability to understand that. We kind of glossed over your B's, the billionaire part, but let's just leave that. Let's leave that. But what has helped you over the years? Because I know that you've been apart from your personality, being choleric means that you are driven and focused and all of that. But I think that there are some principles that, irrespective of your personality, and if you apply these principles, they will work in terms of money. And I think I've heard you say every woman must have their own money. What drives that? Why do you think that?
Esther chapter 1. They gave her own. There's something called her own. Proverbs 31. She considereth
a field and buyeth
it. Sexually transmitted money don't last.
Hey, okay.
Sexually transmitted money don't last. There's what we call she money. She money. Hey, that one is a level every woman must enter, no matter how wonderful your husband is. You should have your money, the she money. Have joint accounts where but there should be an account. You want to throw a surprise for your husband. My husband turned 60. I gave him 61 gifts, including the latest Sequoia. I couldn't have taken that from the joint account. You will know now.
It will not make sense.
And there is something it does to you as a woman. You feel fulfilled. I know you understand what I'm saying. So it's only insecure men that will say, no. It's a sign of insecurity. We will soon grow old and go now, so I won't leave at all. So Master and I, each person has, and then we have the joints, from where we do projects, this and that. He has money, and I have. That's what every woman should do. If the totality of your financial life is dependent on your husband, You're a colossal disgrace.
Yes.
Disgrace.
I heard you say that so many times.
No man wants a liability. No man wants a liability. Your husband says, can I get 1 million? You just ask him, when do you need it? It's not that you are scratching your head. And the man is wondering, what kind of a wife is this now?
Can never help me. Can nothing.
It's the man that will help you bury your grandfather, bury your grandmother, bury your cousin, pay your sister's school fees. You know, your husband is not a shall die, else he shall die. Yeah. Tight to myself. I save every day, 7 a.m.
Wow.
Every day I save.
So what does that look like now? No, I like to ask questions.
So this app, this piggy bank something, I've given instructions. Every 7 a.m. they must take. If you break it, you will lose 3% and lose all the profits. So I don't break it. Every morning I say,
tithe to God and tithe to yourself.
I tithe to God and I tithe to myself. You can decide to start with 1,000 or 50,000. Grow. You know your size. Just grow. Save. You save to invest. So when I save and it's cumulative, I carry it and I fix it. So it's yielding something.